What a day for the market today, guys. Holy crap. S&P 500 all-time highs, Dow Jones all-time highs. The Qs are right there. Same with the Russell. So we have to break down, obviously, the charts, what I'm doing, my thoughts in this market, and a couple stocks I'm watching, and some news we got regarding the Chinese-US AI battle, which is only intensifying as now we're hearing news that the US is drafting a ban to actually, ban Chinese devices in data centers. We have a lot to talk about today, guys. Hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my Patreon if you guys want to keep up with my portfolio updates, my trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's on Patreon. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon. And now, cheers, guys. Take a sip of your coffee, and let's dive into it. So, look at this clean-cut break on the S&P 500. SPY is completely ripping, again, to all-time highs. And we're finally getting out of this range that we've been in for what? Two and a half months at this point, between 725 as support and about 750, 60 as resistance. We're finally breaking out, guys, and the previous all-time high was at about 760. We hit that back in the early days of June, and now 2 months later, we're hitting new all-time highs, guys. We're now hitting 767 on SPY, and the Dow Jones is hitting 50. It hit earlier, 54,000 points. It's up 1.5%, up almost 800 points as of this video. And guys, this is why you don't panic sell, especially if you're holding broad-based market ETFs. And look, I doubt many people panic sold SPY, but if you did, man, this is why you don't want to do that, because ultimately, what was I saying a couple weeks ago? We're still in a bull market. Here we are, all-time highs. When there's panic, when there's uncertainty, when there's volatility, the last thing you want to do is jump off the roller coaster, especially in a bull market. It's not like we were in a bear market. I know a lot of people were like, oh, we're in a bear market. We're in a bear market. No, we're not. No, we weren't. I was saying that when the Qs were at like 670, 680. We're not in a bear market. And here we are. Here we are, breaking out to all-time highs. This is why you hold on. SPY's completely breaking out. Dow's all-time highs completely breaking out. The Q's up 2.5% today, guys. They're now pushing over the moving averages for the first time in a couple of weeks. Not quite yet breaking out, fully at least. Not quite yet at all-time highs, but we're getting close. We're at 720, and people were panicking when this thing hit 650, 660, and I was telling you guys, relax, it's a pullback. We're in a bull market. As long as we maintain the, mid 600s, we're going to be fine, considering 630, 640, that was the high from back in, the end of last year, earlier on in this year as well. So we held that point, and now we're starting to pop again, and I would not be surprised. In fact, I think this will happen. I wouldn't be surprised if we took out this channel and started going to the mid 700s again on the Qs. That's where we're going, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And the Russell right now is up 1.25%. We're about 25 points away from all-time high. So the Russell looks great. The Dow looks phenomenal. S&P strong. The Qs, they're the lagging index, I guess you can say now, but they're about to break out. The Qs are about to break out fully, in my opinion. Yeah, we're going to see more all-time highs in the stock market before the end of the year. Heck, before the end of this month, maybe, at this rate. Not guaranteed, obviously. Do your own research, as always. I am not a financial advisor. So, green across the board. Q's 2.5%, Dow 1.5% up. Same with the S&P. Russell's up about 1.25%. So, AI stocks, tech stocks, pretty much all stocks right now are crushing it, guys. We have names like Micron up to almost $900 again. This thing's, it's like it whipsaws. It goes to 800, then it goes to 900, then it goes to 750, back to 850. So now we're seeing one of those spikes again. Micron's up 8%, trading at 895, and it's not quite yet breaking out. I mean, look, we're not out of these moving averages yet, but it sure looks like things are starting to stabilize for the stock here in the 800, 900 range. I mean, yeah, we did go to 725 a couple of days ago, but for the most part, we have held 800, 850 over the last couple of weeks. So this is trying to stabilize, although again, it's not fully breaking out yet. Keyword is yet. SanDisk is up 10% today. Stocks like Intel up 9-10%. ARM Holdings 13%. Coherent up around 15%. Corning up over 6%. Lam Research, same, 6% up. Nebius, 6%. Green Day. So why are a lot of these stocks moving? In particular, the optics plays, the picks and shovels plays. Well, it has a lot to do with this China news that we got, which we talked about briefly in a short form video. I'm not sure if you guys saw that today. I posted that across the board. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram. All those links are down below. But we talked about it earlier today in that short form video, and we mentioned it in the intro to this video. The U.S. is drafting a ban on Chinese devices in data centers, right? And this is directly, pushing stocks up like, again, Coherent, Corning, Lumentum, you name it. So if we zoom in a little bit here, guys, bear with me. The Trump administration wants Chinese hardware out of American data centers, and officials are drafting a ban on Chinese-made devices used in data centers, according to Reuters. The latest move to wall off the infrastructure behind the U.S. AI build-out from Chinese technology, right? And the draft extends a campaign that has been widening fast. It follows a ban unveiled days earlier, I'm sure you guys heard about this, on new Chinese humanoid robots and power inverters, both cast as risks to critical infrastructure, right? And that earlier move, set the template. U.S. regulators added foreign robots and inverters to a restricted list over fears that Chinese-controlled devices could become supply chain vulnerabilities or remote access points. And data centers are the next natural target, right? They are the physical core of the AI economy, packed with servers, networking gear, and power equipment, and Washington increasingly treats any Chinese component inside them as a liability. And the logic is control over the stack. If AI is a strategic asset, the argument runs, the machines that train and serve it should not depend on parts made by a rival that could, in theory, disrupt or surveil them. And enforcement is the hard part, right? As bans of this kind are routinely undercut by resellers, relabeled parts, and subsidiaries, and closing those loopholes is as much of the drafting work as naming the devices. And the gear most likely in frame, right, is the connective tissue of a data center, networking switches, servers, storage, and the management chips inside them. Any of these could, in theory, carry a hidden path back to a foreign vendor, right? And this is not going to be instant, right? Untangling this is not going to be instant, as American operators still lean on Chinese components in places, and some networking and power equipment has few non-Chinese equivalents at the price and volume the build-out demands. You know what I mean? So if we come down here a little bit more, the through line is the AI race. The administration cast hardware decoupling as protecting the American AI build-out, the same rationale it uses to justify export controls on chips flowing the other way. We can see here hardware is only half of it. The administration has also weighed restrictions on Chinese AI models themselves, a move startups urged it not to make, warning that cutting off cheap open-weight models would hurt American developers more than China. So that's what we're working with now, guys. The U.S.-China battle's intensifying. And listen, China is going to retaliate. We're seeing the tit-for-tat, the retaliation back and forth. China's going to ban, who knows, maybe NVIDIA H200 chips, maybe other, picks and shovels, plays, components, you know what I mean, that are in these data centers. it's going to go back and forth. The battle only intensifies from here. You got to ask yourself, guys, you got to ask yourself this. Who needs the other more, right? Does China need the United States more, or does the United States need the Chinese components more? That's what it comes down to. And in my opinion, China is behind in the U.S. race. They need our components more than we need theirs. That's just my opinion. And, this is why I think a lot of these stocks are moving today. Again, the optics, right? We can see, again, Coherent, Lumentum, Corning, other names in the space, the picks and shovels plays in the United States. That's why they're moving. And I think, again, we're winning this AI race. So it kind of makes sense for us to ban, the Chinese components instead of the other way around. If we were obviously losing this race and China had all these, great pieces of, equipment, AI equipment, we probably wouldn't ban them if we were losing the race. But in this case, it's the opposite. And listen, it's like the next industrial revolution. We need to win this race, and the United States is doing anything possible it can to actually achieve that goal. Which, who knows? We might not win the AI race, but we're leading it now, and we'll see how it ends up playing out over the coming years. So with that, again, all-time highs are being hit in the United States stock market. We have, I guess the ceasefire in Iran, which I haven't really been keeping too much. I haven't been keeping up with it too much. But the fact that the back and forth in the Middle East has cooled off for now, right? Oil's come down. That's good for inflation. Brent's now at 79 a barrel, down another 5.5% today. WTI is down 6%. It's at 75 a barrel. So oil's cooling off. That's a very good sign. And the market's roaring, man. The market is roaring. I love it. I love it at this point. And stocks like, we don't have many stocks down, but stocks like Amazon are cooling off a little bit. Mercado Libre is cooling off, heading into earnings, I believe, today or tomorrow. When are their earnings? Yeah, tomorrow in the aftermarket. I own Mercado Libre and Amazon. So the market at this point, guys, clearly is doing well post the Leopold blow up, which I'm not surprised. We kind of called this out. The market is just going insane, man. AI stocks, big tech, the hyperscalers, software is looking pretty good. Palantir today is up 26%, guys. I mean, come on. This market's clearly starting to stabilize. Sentiment's turning. Palantir is going ballistic. Stocks like Toast are finally starting to catch a bid here. We're slowly filling this gap towards 37, 38. I sold calls on my Toast. I have $37 calls I sold, which I don't think we'll hit that price before expiration. I think they expire on the 21st. So I'm loving it, man. This market's great. It's finally starting to break out a bit, and especially these software names that have been suppressed for months. They're starting to see some love, and I think that will continue here, especially with Toast. I think Palantir is a little overbought. I think we might get a pullback, but clearly the trajectory is bullish in the short term. So I'm excited, man. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, trades, investments. If you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.